I remember I came to the church early. Remember I got to the church a little bit earlier than everyone else. My wife and my daughter and I, and we walked inside the church auditorium. My mama was laying in the casket, open casket, as I walked by that casket. I remember looking at my mama laying there in the casket, and I asked if I could just have some time alone with my mama. And there in the front of that casket, I said, God, I don't know if I can make it. I don't know, God, if I can go through the service. I said, God, I don't know how to do it. He said, I tell you what. Why don't you just go through the order of the service one line at a time? And let's just plan to make it one line at a time. That's exactly what I did. That morning, it was time to come out of the front. We came, and the pastor and I sat here in the front. And I just had that line of that order of service, and I went one line upon the other, one line upon the other. Came time to get up to preach, and it's amazing how the grace of God came down and helped me. Say, how'd you do it? Exactly how I did it. I just kept on putting one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. Hey, that's how I made it inside of life, and that's how you make it in your heartache. Almost 7 years ago, the greatest heartache of my life hit me. It was 3 days before Christmas. My mama was still alive, and she called me up. And she said, Alan, she goes, the police have come and arrested your dad. I said, for what? She told me. About a week and a half, I had no meetings because it was Christmas season. Knowing that my dad was going to be incarcerated probably for the rest of his life was no easy thing. I'd grown up under his preaching. A lot of the illustrations I used were because of my life under him. I remember the first meeting was coming up. I'd been receiving phone calls from people because they read about it on the internet. I said, God, I don't know if I can keep on going. I said, God, this one, it's too embarrassing. I said, second, I don't know if I can continue going on. And God said, I'll tell you what, why don't you do this? Why don't you just do the next meeting? And we'll discuss after the next meeting. For 1 whole year, I did the next meeting. For 1 whole year, I couldn't see beyond the heartache. For 1 whole year, could not see everything inside life. So I just decided, okay, don't know if I can make it to the finish line. But I know what I can do. I can go to the next meeting. You see, that's how you finish. That's how you make it. When heartache comes and slaps you, when your life seems to be over and all hope of your dreams are shattered and you feel like, how in the world am I going to make it? Okay, I tell you how you make it. Sometimes you just got to say, I will take one more step. That's what I will do. You see, the boxer doesn't worry about 12 rounds. He just focuses on the next round.
Yeah.
The successful golfer doesn't look at 18 holes. He looks at the next shot. The runner doesn't worry about the distance of the marathon. He just worries about one step at a time. The football player doesn't worry about 4 quarters. He worries about that possession. The baseball player doesn't worry about the 100 pitches. He just worries about the next pitch.
Amen.
The basketball player doesn't worry about the 4 quarters and all the plays. He just says, let's just take the next possession and handle the next possession right. Hey, that's exactly how you make it inside of life. Listen to me. That's how you're going to face your heartache. You said, Brother Domelle, I don't know how I'm going to face the treatment of chemotherapy. Okay, I don't either. But I know what you can do. I know you can take one treatment. And you can take the next treatment when it comes. Let's not worry about that next treatment. Let's just take that one treatment. And if some of you, you're facing a doctor, you have some health problems, say, I don't know, I can live the rest of my life with this, okay? Let's not worry about the rest of your life. Let's just live today. Let's just make it today. Let's make today that day that we'll rejoice and be glad in it. Let's make today that day that we say, okay, I can make it today. Don't know if I'll make it tomorrow, but I know one thing, I can make it today.
Amen.
Okay, so you're facing marriage problems. You say, Brother Domelle, I don't know if our marriage is going to make it. Okay, I'll tell you what you do. Call up the lawyer, cancel your appointment. Cancel the divorce settlement. Cancel everything. And decide today we're going to make our marriage work. Don't know if it'll work tomorrow. We're not worried about tomorrow. We're going to make it work today. Today. Hey, you say, Preacher, I don't know how I'm going to pay all my bills. Okay, let's not worry about the future. Let's just pay our bills today.
Yeah.
Some of you in retirement, and you see your benefits dwindling as the government continues to take more away, and you say, I don't know how I'm going to make it. I mean, I can't go get another job, and I don't know how I'm going to pay the bills. Tell you exactly how you do it. You just pay the bills for this month, and you let God, through promises, supply all your needs, and let God come through. Say, how's it going to happen? Don't know, but I know this. You can make it just one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You say, Preacher, you don't understand where I work. The ridicule on the job. I don't know how I can take it. Tell you how you take it. One more day. One more day. One more day you put up with the cursing. One more day you put up with the vulgarity. One more day you put up with the negativity. One more day you put up with the criticism. One more day. Okay. You say, well, what about tomorrow? Don't worry about tomorrow. I worry about today, right now. Sometimes I can't see tomorrow. I can see today. I can control today. I cannot control tomorrow. So I'm going to focus on just taking one more step. That's how I'm going to make it instead of heartaches. Listen. Why don't you cancel your quitting party?
Amen.
Huh? Why don't you just decide, you know what? All this, listen, stop saying I'm going to quit. Stop saying, well, this happens, it's all over. Stop it and decide, hey, take the next step.
Yeah.
Hey, Brother Noah. How did you handle 120 years of criticism building that ark? How'd you handle it? He said, I'll tell you how I handled it.
One day at a time.
One board at a time.
One board at a time.
Huh? Hey, Joshua. How'd you handle conquering Canaan land when you saw the cities that had walls, that were massive walls, and really, to be honest with you, it was probably a blow to their confidence as they looked at the walls. How'd you handle it? He said, well, I just took one battle at a time. Hey, David, how'd you handle the 5 giants? How did you do it? He said, I just took one giant at a time. Hey, Jesus, how'd you handle the crucifixion? He said, I just took one thing at a time. He said, I took the plucking of my beard. I just took that. And then he said, I take one punch at a time. And I take one piece of spittle on the face at a time. And I took one of the whip on the back. I just took one stripe at a time. And I took the cross up that hill one step at a time. And I took the nails one nail at a time. And I took the hang on the cross 1 hour at a time. And I took the cursing one cursing at a time. He says, then when I died and they put this body in the grave, he said, I battled Satan and I battled death one day at a time. But he said, you don't understand. I knew Sunday morning was going to come. And Sunday morning did come. And this body came up out of the grave and it conquered death. And I tell you, hey, Sunday morning's going to come for you as well. I don't know when it is, but until then, sometimes you just got to take one step at a time. Then eventually Sunday will come.
Yes.
Amen. Okay. can't see the finish line. Okay, you're going through rough times. Tell you what you can do. One more step. You say, preacher, I don't feel like taking another step. Okay, I'll tell you what you do. You pick up that back leg and make yourself take a step.
Amen.
And then when you're done with that, you grab the next leg and pick it up and take another step. And then when you're done with that, you pick up the next one and take another step. And this thing keeps on sliding down and slide right off this platform. Then you take up the next step and you take another step. Sometimes it's how you make it. Those who live at home, alone, and the loneliness. I don't know how I can handle loneliness. I'll tell you what to do. One day at a time. So I don't know if I can handle the depression. Okay, let's not worry about it. If you can handle it, let's just handle it today.
Yeah.
Cancel your depression pills and get the gospel inside of you. So I don't know if I can make it to tomorrow, but I can make it today. You've done it before. You're here today because you've done it before. May I tell you, that's how you're going to make it today. Just one more step. Father, what an astonishing thought, this thing, just going one more step. That's it. One more step. God, I pray this morning that this little thought, one more time, would encourage somebody to keep on going this morning. Lord, I pray that you'd help us today to realize we don't have to see the finish line. We just have to take that next step, that's all.
Yeah.
That's all. Heads are bowed. Eyes are closed and no one's looking.